Welcome to Revelation Divine Podcast, your go-to podcast for spiritual balance and mental health wisdom, straight from the trenches. I'm your host, a spiritual life coach and mother, sharing the highs, lows, and lessons from my own journey. Each week, we'll explore transformative tips and tricks to elevate your mental health well-being. Join me on this empowering ride because your path to balance and bliss begins here. Subscribe now for a dose of spirituality training and the real talk that you've been craving. Gentleness in leadership. Walk into any bookstore, browse through the internet, watch infomercials, and many are touting the same thing in their tapes, books, seminars, and training. Look out for number one. You are being told unless you learn how to swim with the sharks, you'll never amount to anything, much less become a leader. Our society is obsessed with being aggressive, standing up for your rights, speaking out, and not being a wallflower. In contrast with what Jesus teaches on this subject is obvious. We have been told to think like Jesus taught, that the meek will inherit the earth, that it's out of date, hopelessly impractical, and too naive for living and getting ahead in today's world. To today's modern person, gentle and meekness are not desirable characteristics. In contrast to that, there's hardly a single characteristic which you can name which will better distinguish the Christian from the rest of the world. We are being taught to think that the blessed are those who are strong enough to take from the weak, the shrewd, and those who refuse to be taken advantage of. It is people of such qualities who will be blessed with riches and strike success. We have set too high a premium on self-assertion. Gentleness is not normal, native plants growing out of the human soul. It is not natural part of our makeup. It grows as the Holy Spirit nurtures it. Meekness is to be a part of your makeup no matter what your temperament might be or has been. Gentleness with others. The words gentleness and meekness are often confused in their meaning. And to add to this confusion, we have already done a study on kindness. The definition is a bit elusive to pinpoint. In the original Greek language, there are a number of words which can be translated gentleness or meekness. It is more than an outward quality of words and deeds. Meekness tends to be emotional. It deals with how we feel within. While outwardly we may be acting gentle, meekness has mostly to do with our spirit within. The Bible talks of the spirit of meekness, 1 Corinthians 4:21 or Galatians 6:1. It also speaks of the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, 1 Peter 3:4. In actuality, only God can really discern what is happening in our spirit and appreciate what is happening within. To be truly feeling submissive and humble might be lacking, but it's something which only each person knows. Outwardly, we may be acting out a gentleness, but on the inside, there's a raging storm which has been covered. In any person's life, it's a Christian virtue not to show any kind of resentment, but it's an even deeper work of grace in the human heart not to feel any resentment of any kind. Jesus is a supreme example when he affirmed for all time, I am gentle and humble in heart. Jesus was strength itself. It was not weakness, but gentleness that fulfilled. When he did not open his mouth, he was like the lamb to the slaughter. And as the sheep before her shears is silent, so he did not open his mouth. Isaiah 53:7. In this study, Jesus is the example of gentleness in Matthew 12:6 and 21. Gentleness in the words we speak. Maybe you've said it or heard kids shout it in defiance. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. There have been many studies done about the sting of hurting words. Once spoken, words are almost impossible to retrieve. And how words can hurt. Spiteful words are weapons that can cut another to shreds. Too often we have spoken words that destroy young lives, words that will be remembered over a lifetime. Max Lucado penned these words: "Nothing is won by force. I choose to be gentle. If I raise my voice, may it be only in praise. If I clench my fist, may it be only in prayer. If I make a demand, may it be only of myself." Billy Graham once wrote, "The word gentle was rarely heard before the Christian era, and the word gentleman was not known." This high quality of character was a direct byproduct of Christian faith. An enormous part of being considered gentle as a person is measured by the words which we speak. This study takes us back to the wisdom of King Solomon. Please read Proverbs 15 and Matthew 11.